Being discarded by an avoidant really hurts. It is a very painful experience. But what hurts even more than the discard is the endless breadcrumbing that often follows. When you were discarded, you had your heart ripped from out of your chest. It was absolutely brutal. You felt like you had your person, you met your match, your twin flame even. And suddenly, without any explanation, only vague excuses, it's over. Now you work towards healing. You're trying to heal, understand, and move on. However, the avoidant keeps on reopening that wound every time they sprinkle a few breadcrumbs your way. Seeking validation, that's what they're doing. They want to know that you are still an available option, that you still want them, that you are still there pining away for them. And they'll give you constant little glimmers of false hope that the relationship is about to be rekindled, that they regretted their decision and are now ready to commit to you and take accountability for how they hurt you. You'll go into no contact. Then they reach out. Hey, just thinking of you. I miss you. But when you try to actually get them in person, they're suddenly too busy, or they ghost. Or maybe they do see you in person and they act like you're a couple, but when you talk about recommitting, they're not ready for that. And every time you start to heal, the avoidant reaches back out and rips that scab right off and pours some salt in the wound. This is the land of limbo, where you're endlessly feeling like there's a chance, but then they take it away. There's a chance, but then they take it away. It is a push-pull that sometimes can go on for years after the discard, where they just refuse to let you go. And they will tell you things along the lines of, I don't want to lose you, but I'm just not ready for a relationship. But I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you from my life. Constantly making you think that this is a person that is working on themselves. But that is the exact opposite of what they are doing. When they are pulling away, they are avoiding. They are avoiding processing emotions. They are avoiding self-reflection. They are avoiding accountability. They're avoiding dealing with any of the problems that caused the breakup to begin with. That's what they do. They avoid. Avoidance, avoid. And the breadcrumbing is really validation seeking, because when they're breadcrumbing you, they are not thinking of you. They're not thinking of you at all. They may be thinking of the benefits that they get from you, but they're not thinking of your feelings. Because if they were, they would not reach out to you and breadcrumb you. They would only reach out if they were truly ready to take accountability and really rekindle the relationship, because breadcrumbing only hurts the other person. Giving somebody false hope over and over again only causes the other person pain, agony, anxiety. So when they're doing this, when they're constantly fishing for validation, they're only thinking of themselves and that validation that they so desperately crave. Avoidants are deeply insecure people at their core. They need external validation to feel better about themselves. They don't know how to internally validate themselves. This is because they were emotionally neglected as children. They weren't shown love in the way that they needed from their parents or caretakers. So they feel like an unlovable person, and they rely on that attention from others to feel better about themselves. So they will constantly reach out just to make sure that you still want them, which validates them when you confirm it, so they can feel better about themselves, and it gives them a temporary boost, a temporary hit of dopamine. It doesn't last, so they will continuously reach out for that validation. And as long as you confirm to them that you are an available option, the avoidant feels safe and there's no urgency for them to work on themselves. When they breadcrumb you, you don't have to take the bait. You don't have to give them that validation. You don't have to ghost them either, but you don't have to give them that free validation. You can just give them very short to the point answers. You don't need to tell them that you're pining away for them. You don't need to tell them that you miss them. You don't need to tell them that you love them. You don't need to give them that free validation. You can just say, doing well, thanks. Hope you're well too. You don't have to say things like, I'm so glad you reached out. I miss you. Can we get back together? When you do things like that, you are giving them the validation that they seek, and that's it. they'll disappear again, come back, disappear again. It is a selfish thing to do to somebody to endlessly breadcrumb them, and you have an opportunity to hold and enforce boundaries. You don't have to accept the endless breadcrumbing. You can assert a line in the sand and tell this person, I need time and space to heal. So if you are not going to reach out in a meaningful way, then please respect my wishes and allow me to heal. It is certainly an opportunity to hold boundaries, because boundaries are what you will and will not tolerate, what you want and don't want, what you need and don't need. When you allow this person to endlessly breadcrumb you, you are allowing yourself to be treated this way, and you're allowing yourself to be treated as if you're an available option, if you're just an option. You're not an option. You should be someone's priority because they were your priority and you deserve the same in return. But when you allow that treatment of yourself, you're pushing yourself further into insecurity, further into anxiety, because you're sending yourself the message that you deserve that kind of treatment and that you're not important, that you're not a priority. When you send yourself these subconscious messages, you are only hurting yourself. But when you do enforce a boundary, it's not fun. But you send yourself a profoundly positive message. You're sending yourself the message that your wants, your feelings, your needs do in fact matter. And it's not okay to treat you this way, that you deserve better. And it actually gives you a big boost of confidence when you hold and enforce healthy boundaries. So understand this breadcrumbing, it is a selfish behavior and it's a reflection on the part of the avoidant. It is a reflection of them, their character, their traumas, and their unhealed attachment wounds. It is not a reflection of you. It doesn't mean that you are not good enough for this person. What it means is they're not healthy enough for you and you deserve better.